Have you ever noticed that the loudest people are rarely the strongest? In a world where everyone is desperate to be seen, heard, and validated, the truly powerful move differently. They don't argue with every opinion. They don't announce every plan. They don't chase applause. They stay silent, think deeply, and quietly build a life that speaks for itself. More than 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius wrote something remarkable, not for the world to admire, but as a reminder to himself. Hidden within those private reflections is a blueprint for mastering your mind, controlling your emotions, and developing the kind of mental resilience that no crisis can shake. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy. It isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about becoming stronger than them. It is ancient wisdom that remains timeless wisdom because human nature has never changed. If you've been searching for inner peace in a noisy world, if you want to build discipline, stay calm under pressure, and experience real mindset transformation, then these teachings are for you. Today, we're exploring 8 Stoic principles by Marcus Aurelius that can help you achieve self-mastery, emotional mastery, and lasting personal growth. Along the way, we'll draw from Marcus Aurelius' teachings the enduring insights of daily Stoicism and the profound lessons shared by Seneca and Epictetus, wisdom that has guided great leaders, warriors and thinkers for centuries. Watch until the very end, because the final principle may completely change the way you approach success. It doesn't teach you how to be louder than everyone else. It teaches you how to become so strong that your results do all the talking. Principle 1, speak less, observe more. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that power comes from being the loudest person in the room. They rush to defend themselves, explain every decision, and respond to every criticism as if silence were a weakness. Marcus Aurelius saw the world differently. He understood that every unnecessary word gives away something valuable: your attention, your emotional energy, and sometimes even your intentions. Real strength is not measured by how quickly you respond. It is measured by how completely you control yourself. Think about the people who truly command respect. They don't interrupt. They don't desperately seek approval. They listen carefully. They watch human nature unfold. While everyone else is busy talking, they are collecting information. This is one of the greatest lessons of Stoic philosophy. Before you try to change the world around you, learn to observe it. Before you judge another person, study your own reactions. Before you answer an insult, ask yourself one question: does this deserve my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. The Stoics believed that every emotional reaction begins with a judgment. Someone insults you, and immediately your mind labels it as an attack. Someone ignores you, and your mind interprets it as rejection. Someone succeeds before you, and your mind calls it unfair. But what if those judgments are wrong? This is where Marcus Aurelius' teachings become incredibly practical. He constantly reminded himself that external events do not disturb us nearly as much as our opinions about them. Silence gives you something that endless talking never can: clarity. When you stop reacting to every opinion, every provocation, and every distraction, your mind becomes sharper. You begin to notice patterns that everyone else misses. You become more patient, more deliberate, and far more difficult to manipulate. This is the beginning of emotional mastery. The wisdom echoed throughout daily Stoicism teaches that every unnecessary argument steals time from your purpose. Every impulsive reaction weakens your focus. Every emotional outburst gives another person control over your state of mind. Instead, become the observer. Observe people's motives. Observe your own emotions. Observe your habits. Observe your thoughts before believing them. That quiet awareness builds something priceless: mental resilience. As Epictetus taught, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more than you speak. Learn more than you prove. The person who understands the room rarely needs to dominate the conversation. Your silence is not emptiness. It is preparation. and often it is your greatest advantage. Principle 2. Think deeply before you act. Most people confuse movement with progress. They stay busy every hour of the day, jumping from one decision to another, reacting to every message, every opportunity, and every distraction. They believe speed is the secret to success. The Stoics believed something entirely different. They believed that one wise decision is worth more than 100 impulsive ones. Marcus Aurelius spent countless moments reflecting before acting because he knew that every action begins with a thought. If the thought is careless, the outcome usually is too. This is why Stoic wisdom places such importance on reflection. Before making an important decision, pause. Before responding in anger, pause. Before chasing something that everyone else desires, pause. That brief moment of stillness can change the direction of your entire life. Deep thinking isn't overthinking. It isn't fear or hesitation. It is disciplined reflection. It allows you to separate emotion from reason and impulse from purpose. This practice helps you master your mind instead of becoming a prisoner of it. Modern life rewards instant reactions, but ancient wisdom reminds us that wisdom grows in silence. The greatest leaders throughout history weren't simply intelligent. They developed the habit of careful thinking before decisive action. This is why Seneca repeatedly warned against living on impulse. A person ruled by emotion becomes predictable. A person guided by reason becomes unstoppable. Imagine facing a serious setback. One person panics, blames others, and makes reckless decisions. Another person becomes still. They examine the situation objectively. They ask what remains under their control. They act only after understanding the facts. Who is more likely to succeed? The answer is obvious. When you learn to control your emotions, your decisions improve. Better decisions create better habits. Better habits create stronger character. That is how you build discipline. That is how you remain calm under pressure while others lose themselves to panic. This quiet habit of thoughtful reflection leads to lasting self-mastery, genuine personal growth, and profound mindset transformation. Remember this, the world rewards those who react quickly for a moment. Life rewards those who think deeply for a lifetime. Principle 3. Let your results make the noise. One of the greatest temptations in life is the urge to announce every goal before you've achieved it. We tell people about the business we're starting, the body we're building, the book we're writing, or the future we're creating. For a brief moment, the praise feels satisfying. It tricks us into believing we've already made progress. But Marcus Aurelius practiced a very different way of living. He reminded himself that virtue is demonstrated through action, not performance. A person doesn't become wise by talking about wisdom. They become wise by living it. That is one of the most practical lessons found in Stoic philosophy. The world is full of promises. It is transformed by results. Imagine two people with the same dream. The first constantly tells everyone about the success that's coming. They seek validation before they've earned it. Every conversation becomes another opportunity to prove how ambitious they are. The second says very little. They wake up early. They study when no one is watching. They practice when no one applauds. They fail quietly, learn quietly, improve quietly, and eventually succeed so completely that no explanation is necessary. Which person commands more respect? The answer has never changed. As Marcus Aurelius' teachings remind us, your duty is not to impress people. Your duty is to improve yourself. This is why daily Stoicism encourages consistency over recognition. Every disciplined action you repeat in private strengthens your character in public. Your habits are always speaking, even when you aren't. Many people want the appearance of success more than the process required to create it. They chase attention instead of excellence, but attention fades. Character remains. The quiet hours you spend learning a skill, the mornings you choose discipline over comfort, the moments you resist temptation. These are invisible victories, that eventually become visible success. This is how you develop self-discipline. This is how you cultivate mental resilience. This is how you achieve true self-mastery. The next time you're tempted to announce your next big move, ask yourself a simple question. Would I rather have applause today or results tomorrow? Choose the results. They will always speak louder than words. Principle 4. Master your emotions before they master you. Life will test you. Someone will disrespect you. Someone will underestimate you. Someone will betray your trust, criticize your efforts, or celebrate your failures. The question isn't whether these moments will come. The question is, who will be in control when they do? Most people believe power comes from controlling other people. The Stoics believed real power comes from controlling yourself. Marcus Aurelius understood that anger, fear, envy, and resentment are natural emotions, but they are terrible leaders. The moment your emotions begin making your decisions, your judgment becomes clouded. This is the foundation of emotional mastery. You cannot always choose what happens to you. You can always choose how you respond. That single realization has the power to transform your life. Suppose someone insults you in front of others. One response is immediate retaliation. Your pride takes over, your voice rises, and the conflict grows larger. The other response is quiet strength. You recognize the insult, but you refuse to surrender your peace. You realize that another person's behavior reflects their character, not yours. That is what it means to control your emotions. As Epictetus' lessons continually remind us, it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you replace anger with reason, every time you choose patience over impulse, you strengthen your inner character. You are literally training your mind. This is how you master your mind. It is also why Seneca quotes often emphasize that the greatest battles are fought within ourselves. Anyone can react. Few people can remain calm under pressure when life becomes unfair. Yet those who can possess a quiet advantage that cannot be taken away. The practice isn't about becoming emotionless. It is about refusing to let emotions become your master. That is the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. As you continue applying these principles, you'll notice something remarkable. Situations that once overwhelmed you begin to lose their power. Your confidence no longer depends on praise. Your peace no longer depends on perfect circumstances. Instead, you become steady, focused, unshakable, and that inner stability becomes the foundation for lasting personal growth, deeper inner peace, and genuine wisdom for life. Principle 5. Focus only on what you can control. There is one habit that quietly steals more energy than almost anything else: worrying about things you cannot change. People spend years replaying the past, fearing the future, and trying to control the opinions of others. They lose sleep over circumstances beyond their reach, hoping that enough anxiety will somehow change reality. It never does. Marcus Aurelius returned to one powerful truth again and again. Your greatest freedom lies in directing your attention toward what is within your control. This is one of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control whether people like you, misunderstand you, or betray you. But you can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your discipline. You can control your response. That is where your true power begins. Imagine standing in the middle of a violent storm. You can curse the wind. You can complain about the rain, or you can tighten your grip, adjust your course, and keep moving forward. The storm doesn't disappear, but you become stronger because of it. This is the essence of Marcus Aurelius' teachings. Strength is not found in perfect circumstances. It is forged by meeting imperfect circumstances with a disciplined mind. Every moment you spend complaining is a moment you could have spent improving. Every minute spent blaming someone else is a minute stolen from your own progress. This is why daily Stoicism reminds us that our energy is precious. Spend it where it can produce results, not where it feeds frustration. The same principle applies to criticism. Some people will doubt you, others will underestimate you. Some may even celebrate your failures. None of that has to determine your future unless you allow it to. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I do right now?" That simple question shifts your mind from helplessness to action. It is how you build discipline instead of excuses. It is how you develop mental resilience instead of fear. It is how you discover lasting inner peace, even when life refuses to cooperate. The Stoics never promised an easy life. They promised that a disciplined mind could remain free, even in difficult circumstances. That freedom begins the moment you stop fighting what you cannot control. Principle 6. Turn every obstacle into your teacher. Most people see obstacles as proof that they should stop. The Stoics saw obstacles as proof that they were growing. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback contains an opportunity. Every failure leaves behind knowledge that success alone could never teach. Marcus Aurelius refused to waste adversity. He believed that every difficulty could become fuel for greater wisdom if approached with the right mindset. This is one of the most empowering forms of Stoic wisdom. Think about the strongest people you've ever met. Rarely were they shaped by comfort. They were shaped by hardship, by rejection, by disappointment, by moments when giving up seemed easier than moving forward. Those experiences did not destroy them, they refined them. As Seneca quotes often remind us, hardship reveals character. Comfort may hide weakness, but adversity exposes both our flaws and our potential. Imagine an archer. A stronger headwind makes hitting the target more difficult. But if the archer learns to adjust, every difficult shot improves their skill. Life works the same way. The obstacle is not your enemy, it is your instructor. This idea appears throughout Epictetus' lessons. We cannot always choose the challenges placed before us, but we can choose whether those challenges make us bitter or better. Every obstacle asks the same question: will this defeat you or develop you? The answer depends entirely on your perspective. This is where mindset transformation begins. Instead of saying, "This setback ruined everything," say, "This setback is teaching me something I couldn't learn any other way." Instead of fearing failure, study it. Instead of avoiding discomfort, grow through it. Instead of seeing pain as punishment, see it as preparation. That shift in thinking changes everything. It strengthens your self-mastery. It helps you master your mind, instead of becoming trapped by negative thoughts. It teaches you to remain calm under pressure because you understand that every challenge is temporary, but every lesson can last a lifetime. This is the beauty of ancient wisdom. It doesn't remove obstacles, it teaches you how to rise above them. And as you begin to welcome life's difficulties as opportunities to grow, you'll discover something remarkable. The very things that once seemed determined to break you become the reasons you become stronger. That is timeless wisdom. That is the path to lasting personal growth, and that is how quiet victories are won. Principle 7. Live by your values, not by other people's opinions. One of the fastest ways to lose yourself is to build your life around the approval of others. Many people never become who they were meant to be because they are too busy trying to become who everyone else expects them to be. They change their personality to fit in. They silence their convictions to avoid criticism. They measure their worth by likes, compliments, and applause. But Marcus Aurelius refused to live that way. He reminded himself daily that the only opinion capable of destroying his character was his own. That is one of the most liberating truths in Stoic philosophy. You cannot build a meaningful life while constantly asking, "What will people think?" The better question is, am I acting according to my principles? Everything changes when you begin living from the inside out instead of the outside in. Imagine a ship crossing the ocean. If it changes direction every time the wind shifts, it will never reach its destination. The same is true of your life. If every compliment inflates your ego and every criticism crushes your confidence, your direction will always belong to someone else. Marcus Aurelius believed your character should be your compass. Not popularity, not public opinion, not temporary trends, your values. This is why daily Stoicism encourages us to measure success by integrity rather than recognition. Recognition comes and goes. Character grows stronger every time you choose what is right over what is easy. You may not always be understood. You may not always be appreciated. You may even lose people when you refuse to compromise your principles. But remember this. Respect earned through authenticity lasts far longer than approval gained through pretending. As Epictetus' lessons remind us, another person's opinion belongs to them, not to you. Your responsibility is to govern your own thoughts, your own choices, and your own actions. That is how you control your emotions instead of letting public opinion control them. That is how you develop self-discipline when the easier path is to conform. That is how you cultivate inner peace, because your confidence no longer depends on external validation. Real freedom begins the moment you stop asking the world for permission to become the person you were created to be. Stand firm, stay humble, live with integrity, and let your character become your reputation. Principle 8. Conquer yourself every single day. Many people spend their lives trying to defeat competitors, trying to outshine co-workers, trying to prove themselves to strangers, trying to win battles that ultimately don't matter. Marcus Aurelius believed the greatest victory was never over another person. It was over yourself. Every morning presents the same challenge. Will you give in to comfort or choose discipline? Will you follow your impulses or your principles? Will you repeat yesterday's excuses or become slightly better than you were before? This is the lifelong practice of self-mastery. The Stoics understood that greatness is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in ordinary days. In the alarm clock you don't ignore. In the workout you complete when no one is watching. In the promise you keep to yourself. In the temptation you quietly resist. These small victories seem insignificant, but over months and years they become extraordinary. This is why Marcus Aurelius' teachings emphasize daily improvement rather than instant perfection. He knew that excellence is not an event, it is a habit. As Seneca quotes remind us, time is our most valuable possession. Every day is either an investment in the person you want to become or a payment toward the person you are trying to leave behind. Ask yourself at the end of each day, did I become wiser today? Did I become stronger today? Did I respond with reason instead of emotion? Did I move one step closer to the life I truly want? If the answer is yes, then you have already succeeded. That is the spirit of Stoic wisdom. You don't need to defeat everyone. You only need to become a little better than the person you were yesterday. This daily commitment helps you master your mind, strengthen your mental resilience, and remain calm under pressure when life tests your resolve. It fuels lasting personal growth, deep emotional mastery, and the kind of mindset transformation that no setback can erase. This is the gift of ancient wisdom. It teaches that the strongest victories are often invisible. They happen in moments when no one is watching, when you choose patience over anger, discipline over comfort, purpose over distraction, silence over unnecessary noise, and each of those quiet choices shapes a life of extraordinary strength. Remember the title of this journey: be silent, think deep, win quietly. Because in the end, the loudest person is rarely the strongest. The strongest person is the one who has learned to conquer themselves. Every single day, the world will always celebrate noise. It will reward those who demand attention, argue the loudest, and chase constant validation. But Stoic philosophy teaches a different path, a quieter path, a stronger path. A path where success is earned in silence, Wisdom is built through reflection, and character becomes your greatest achievement. Marcus Aurelius never promised that life would be easy. He knew that disappointment, criticism, failure, and uncertainty were unavoidable. Yet he also knew that no obstacle, no insult, and no hardship could defeat a person who had learned to master themselves. That is why these Marcus Aurelius teachings continue to inspire millions of people today. Alongside the insights of Seneca and Epictetus, they offer timeless wisdom for anyone seeking inner peace, mental resilience, and lasting personal growth. Let's remember the 8 principles we've explored. Speak less, observe more, think deeply before you act. Let your results make the noise. Master your emotions before they master you. Focus only on what you can control. Turn every obstacle into your teacher. Live by your values, not by other people's opinions. Conquer yourself every single day. These aren't just ideas to admire. They are daily practices. Each time you choose patience over anger, discipline over comfort, reflection over impulse, and purpose over distraction, you strengthen your character. You build discipline. You master your mind. You control your emotions. And little by little, you become the kind of person who remains calm under pressure, possesses true emotional mastery, and carries a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others. This is the true meaning of daily Stoicism, not reading wise words once in a while, but living them every single day, because the greatest victory is never over another person. It is over the version of yourself that wants to quit, react, complain, or seek approval. Conquer that person, and no one can take your peace. No one can steal your purpose. And no one can stop your growth. Be silent, think deeply, win quietly, because those who master themselves never need to announce their greatness. The world eventually notices it on its own. If this video challenged the way you think, don't let these lessons end here. Take just one of these Stoic principles and apply it today. Maybe it's choosing silence instead of arguing. Maybe it's focusing only on what you can control. Maybe it's responding to a difficult situation with reason instead of emotion. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary lives. If you found value in this video, leave a comment with the principle that spoke to you the most. I'd love to know which lesson you're going to put into practice first. If you're committed to Stoic wisdom, self-mastery, and continuous mindset transformation, like this video, subscribe to the channel. And turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey into ancient wisdom and practical strategies for living with greater strength, discipline, and purpose. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that real power isn't found in being louder than everyone else. It's found in mastering yourself. Until next time, stay calm. Stay disciplined. Protect your peace. And remember, the loud world rewards attention. Life rewards the person who stays silent, thinks deeply, and wins quietly.